It was the year 1925, and the world was changing at an unprecedented pace. In the midst of this transformation, two souls lived separate lives, unaware that their paths would soon cross in a small, quaint town called Heartsville. Emily Mayfield, a beautiful and kind-hearted young woman with porcelain skin and raven black hair, resided in the nearby village of Willowdale. She was a talented seamstress, renowned for her exquisite embroidery and delicate stitches. Emily's life was simple yet fulfilling, surrounded by loving friends and family who cherished her warmth. Across the countryside, in the bustling city of Ashwood, lived James Worthington, a charming and intelligent young man with piercing blue eyes and chiseled features. He was an accomplished engineer, working on innovative projects that would change the face of transportation forever. James's life was fast-paced, filled with excitement and purpose. On a fateful evening, as the last train to Heartsville rumbled through the countryside, Emily found herself on board, traveling to visit her ailing grandmother in the small town. As she settled into her seat, James accidentally bumped into her, spilling his tea and scattering papers across the floor. Apologizing profusely, James rushed to help Emily gather her belongings, their hands touching as they both reached for the same piece of paper. The spark that flew between them was undeniable, though neither acknowledged it at first. As they exchanged pleasantries, Emily couldn't help but notice James's captivating smile and effortless charm. As the train chugged along, Emily and James continued to cross paths, their conversations growing more engaging with each passing mile. They discovered shared interests in literature, music, and art, forging a connection that went beyond mere acquaintanceship. During a particularly memorable moment, as they strolled through the train's dining car, James surprised Emily by reciting an original poem he'd written for her. The words danced on his lips, leaving Emily enchanted and speechless. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the landscape, their hearts began to beat in tandem. As the last train to Heartsville approached its final destination, James revealed that he was actually on his way to meet with investors to secure funding for his revolutionary transportation project. Emily, unaware of James's true intentions, felt a pang of disappointment and insecurity, fearing that she might be just another fleeting encounter in his life. Meanwhile, the pressures of James's high-stakes business dealings began to take their toll on their budding relationship. His dedication to his work led him to prioritize meetings over time spent with Emily, causing her to feel neglected and unimportant. As the train pulled into Heartsville Station, Emily confronted James about his priorities, feeling as though she was losing him to his ambitions. In a heart-wrenching moment, James confessed that he had indeed been struggling to balance his work and their relationship, but his feelings for Emily ran deeper than any business deal. Tears streaming down her face, Emily revealed the depth of her own emotions, confessing that she had fallen in love with James during their time on the train. The weight of their words hung in the air as they stood together, hands entwined, and gazed out at the tranquil town below. In a moment of clarity, James realized that his true passion lay not only in engineering, but also in building meaningful relationships. He made a vow to prioritize Emily's love and well-being alongside his professional pursuits. As the last train to Heartsville pulled away from the station, Emily and James shared a tender kiss, their hearts now aligned with a common purpose: to build a life together, filled with love, laughter, and adventure. The journey ahead would be long and winding, but they knew that as long as they had each other, they could face any challenge that came their way. In the quaint town of Heartsville, where time stood still and romance reigned supreme, Emily and James's love story became a beacon of hope for all who lived there. As the last train disappeared into the distance, the townspeople smiled knowingly, aware that sometimes it takes a chance encounter on a journey to find true love.